Kambosos versus Haney fight night, and man, do we got drama. Man, do we got drama. This is Paulie malignaggi for Paulie TV. Okay, number one, Bill Haney is in Australia. The support system is there in full for Devin Haney to be max confident. Not that he didn't look confident, honestly. I think Devin has looked really poised throughout the entire build-up, and since his time in Australia, I think he's looked pretty relaxed to me. Obviously, it's his first big fight of his career, at least of this magnitude. And I think he's handled it well thus far. You're obviously going to have butterflies, and you're going to be excited. All the more excited when more is on the line. And obviously, there's everything on the line tonight with the undisputed lightweight title. I think this is the first undisputed lightweight championship since Pernell Whitaker. For those of you that don't agree that Kambosos is already undisputed. I think Pernell Whitaker was the last, before all this charade, was the last undisputed lightweight champion. So, you're in good company when you're the undisputed lightweight champion now, that's for sure. What about Kambosos not making weight on the first try? Does that make a difference? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what kind of struggles he's had. I've never heard of Kambosos having struggles to make the lightweight division, to make the lightweight limit. But I'll always tell you one thing. I was always a few sips of water from being slightly overweight. So I can't tell you that for sure. This reflects on his preparation or lack thereof or whatnot, because you could have a couple extra an extra glass of water, or your scale could be just slightly off, and all of a sudden you're over the limit. I've seen it happen. It could have happened to me. It never did, because I always had a scale in my room, and always had a scale with a team scale that we always checked constantly, so that's to make sure we were on it when the official weigh-in was on. But I'll tell you, this could happen. Although from a psychological standpoint, I think it can be confidence building for Haney. You're always looking to grab anything you can to pick up more confidence, to try to play the mind games, to win the mind games. And I think Haney has picked up a couple of things in the last 24 to 48 hours. Kambosos not making the weight, whether or not that even makes a difference for George Kambosos. For Haney, it's something to grab onto. And of course, Bill Haney, Devin's father, arriving in Australia, that's something for Devin to hang on to. They've got a great relationship, father and son. A lot of fighters, don't even have their fathers. A lot of fighters don't even have their fathers around. So for the fighters that have their fathers around and the ones that are involved directly in their sons' careers, I can imagine it's a pretty big deal to have them around and have that support system and then feel that. So I think Haney is probably feeling much better about himself in the last 24 to 48 hours than he was before. And I don't think he was feeling bad about himself even before that. Now, having said that, Kambosos is still the guy who has come in more battle-tested, has fought the actual natural lightweights. He's fought the more physical fights. Teofimo Lopez is the best opponent out of either of them either of them have fought. And Kambosos has had to get up off the canvas in the Kambosos fight. Kambosos had to get up off the canvas in the Lopez fight to come back and win that fight. He also has fought a similar style to Devin Haney, albeit in a close competitive fight, maybe even controversial, when he beat Mickey Bay. But still, that experience has put him in against a fast-handed, slick kind of fighter already, and one that is naturally his size. And Haney's best opposition, they've been blown-up featherweights, ex-world champions who are past their prime. So this is going to be the first guy who's actually his size in his prime, and is going to be in his face. And what I mean by in your face means that somebody who's hungry. Devin Haney's also going to be in Kambosos' face. I don't mean literally, because Dan Haney boxes in a different fashion. But what I mean by in your face, it means that somebody who's young, hungry, and determined. They have that mindset that you kind of lose that mindset as you get a little older. But when you're younger and hungry, and you're hungry to, not just for money, because these guys are both making pretty good money already before this, and like I've said before, Haney seems to have come from money already. So it's not always about money. You're hungry to make a name for yourself. You're hungry to be a man about this whole thing. So both guys are in this position, but Kambosos has fought guys in this position already. Haney has not. So that's the one of the tricky things here about tonight's fight is, how does Haney, who I believe is more talented, he's got the more physical gifts, how does Haney mentally deal with what Kambosos is bringing to the table as far as physicality, in your face mentality, and somebody who you're not just gonna break that easily just because you're faster than him and you frustrate him and win a couple of rounds against him. He's gonna stay in your face and he's gonna deal with you. So I'm curious to see how Haney also deals with that, because if it was just from a physical perspective, Haney wins the fight. But it's not just from a physical perspective. There's a lot of other things involved, a lot of other intangibles involved, including the fact that Kambosos is gonna bring something that you probably haven't seen in your career thus far. Have you seen it in the gym? Probably, but on fight night, in the ring, in front of a massive crowd that is probably going to be against you, it's a different thing altogether. So big fight, interesting. A lot of details in the last 24 to 48 hours. A lot of intangible things have happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. Definitely talking points. They may not even make a difference, but definitely talking points. And of course, we could not go into this fight without me mentioning this little tidbit that had to be mentioned. You knew I wasn't just not going to mention it, right? The guy who's never going to lose to a white guy is fighting a white guy tonight for the undisputed lightweight title.